I think it also ties in, Ed, to something that you've elaborated on before, and you touched upon earlier with the micro licenses, is this free market system in cannabis where we tear down the artificial walls, which, I think are mostly resurrected out of fear. Maybe you could correct me on that if you've got a better sense, but what are your thoughts on that exactly?
Well, first, Gregory, I think let's make it clear, and this is something that I often have to remind people of. Look, the illicit market does not go away. It doesn't disappear just because you've legalized the plant. It remains. I mean, that is part of the nature of industry. Whether it's tires or suitcases or regardless, you will always have people that will have products that fall off the back of the truck, as we say here. Right? You will always have an opportunity to purchase products, services through channels that are not necessarily regulated. And so it doesn't go away. The whole point of legalization, Gregory, was to get to your question, is to do away with the fact that the plant should have never been criminalized to begin with. It was criminalized out of fear back almost 90 years ago. Almost 90 years ago. It was criminalized because there was an attempt to marginalize people of color. It was criminalized to marginalize people that were of the music culture. So look, the plant should have never been criminalized to begin with. It was criminalized out of fear. Fast forward to the late 60s, early 70s, it was weaponized to purposely do harm to people. And when I say that, so you went from criminalization, where yes, you could be arrested for possession, for use, but then it was weaponized because of the anti-war movement. All of a sudden, cannabis became a Schedule I drug. It was put on the same plateau as heroin. That was absolutely nonsense, and it was done with the deliberate notion that you were going to ruin people's lives. So the aspect of fear has driven this industry, has driven our country for a century, almost a century, when it comes to cannabis. So yes, this fear factor, we've got to tear it down. We've got to do away with it. The fact that you still have communities that are debating whether or not to have cannabis in their borders is ridiculous. It's legal. The adult use market is going to be stood up with regulation, with regulatory oversight, and we support that. It needs to be done, and we definitely need to tear down these walls or the fear factors that have marginalized people, that have harmed people over decades.
Well put. Right, most people don't know. You mentioned the early 70s, Schedule I. Most people don't know that Nixon threw out 4,000 pages of science proposing that he decriminalize cannabis. He totally buried it. I think it's one of the most greatest conspiracies in U.S. history. And people forgot that history, which is why it's been repeating itself for so long.